Hey guys, Kapper here. Today is February 2nd, 2019, and this morning's mission is one that I've been kind of putting off for a while, but it needs to get done. It's a couple of these pine trees right up here, let me show you, are dead and they risk falling on the house. So me and Mrs. Kapper are going to break out the excavator and chainsaw and try and cut them and push them away from the house as safely as we can. So let's check it out. Okay, so this right here, this was already there before we started cutting. This happens a lot, these branches that fall down, which is one of the reasons that we got to take out these two trees in here. But the other reason is they're completely dead, and in the wrong windstorm they could fall not only on the power service but on the new house. So let's break out the bobcat and the chainsaw and see how this project is going to go. Alright, so here's a look from the bottom. You can see that this dead one is right behind our power service. Couldn't have picked a worse spot. So let's scan up. I'll show you a couple views of this tree and our plan of attack. So here's a look at the tree. You can see all of these dead limbs. Those are really a secondary risk, obviously, to the tree not falling in the direction you want it. But the reason that we are taking this down ourselves is because honestly I didn't feel like coughing up $500 to have a lift truck come and trim it down, and I felt that we could do it ourselves. I mean, I've felled a lot of trees over the years. So anyways, here's our generator and our power service, so you could see the proximity. It's not a good situation that you want to be in, but like I said, I felt confident with the excavator because I've done this quite a few times now with the excavator. I just got to be really careful, because you're going to see here that I'm going to be actually leaning directly over the power service. So let's see how this is going to start off. So the first thing that I do when I'm felling a tree is I cut a notch out in the direction I want it to fall. I mean, call me old school, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm not trying to save this tree for a log at the base. Loggers will do just a flat cut, one lower and one higher to get it to kind of fall, but I have just found that a notch and then a little more cut in the middle just really helps it go in the direction that I want to go. And then on the back side of it, which is the side that you don't want it to fall, I cut a severe downward angle to ultimately connect it down to the notch, so that if it does want to start leaning back the way you don't want it to lean, that severe downward angle will help to catch it. Here's a look with the drone, and look at the top here. You'll notice it's much shorter than the other trees around it, and that is because all of them dead branches have already fallen. I'm not sure how tall this thing is. I mean, it's probably 60 or 70 feet at least. So it's quite a large tree. So let's give it a whirl here. Alright, we're gonna try to gently push this tree over. So I figured with this thing being dead for a while, I'm just going to push this thing over. Well, that didn't happen. It's not rotten yet down at the base, so it's actually very, very stout, which I was surprised. I guess I never realized that pines were that strong, because 99% of what I've had to deal with have been hardwoods. So yeah, it didn't go over on the first few pushes. So let's see what's going to happen next here. Here's a quick look at the notch, the downward notch that I was trying to describe to you earlier on the back side. Alright, now it's time to start reefing on this thing a little bit more. So right here it wants to go down, but it's hung up in all the branches up at the top. Hey guys, so before I get jumped on by the 500 loggers out there, that project went 100% like I wanted it to go, and the one risk that I did calculate into it happened. You know, one of the dead branches fell down, and the only reason it did is because I was hung up on the top. But it's very possible that my boom might have saved the electrical panel, because I'm not sure the path that branch took. But either way, that's why we have a steel cab on the excavator, and that branch was coming down. Even if I used a block over on that side and pulleys, that branch was still going to come down just from a little vibration. So, you know, instead of 100% right, it went 99% right. And I used the machines to our advantage for time management. And I knew where that tree was going to go. I mean, I had a grip. I had control on that tree throughout the entire descent till it was, you know, past the tipping point. So another good success with the machines. So we'll see you on the next go around.